don't have it straight here, my son. There we go.
Dad, you wait.
Move it that way a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa! Careful, careful! You're scaring the cat. Wow. It's looking too much at me.
Hi there. Hello.
Hello. Hi there.
Look at me telling a story.
What? Oh, hi, I'm Dave. This is Benjamin. This is Charles. And Benjamin is going to be... What are you telling a story of who?
Of something I thought up.
All right. Of who?
Follow my lead.
What?
Okay. Let's begin with the story. Wait, I will be speaking through the character in such story, so if you have any questions
So
on why I'm
who's the
talking
character?
weird,
Who's the character?
he's called Can't Break.
Can't break.
What?
Guy's
Why?
basically indestructible.
Okay, why? What? Where did this guy come from?
So various animes I've watched and various videos about said animes.
No, I mean, what universe is he in that you've created? Is he in the same one with the Immortal One, with Flare Blix? Which character is he in?
The Immortal One and Flare Blix are in the same universe.
Oh, I thought they were in different ones.
Okay, this is mainly just an experiment to help us progress our storytelling. So don't expect continuations.
Okay.
What? Do you have a universe? Like a name or something?
Think about something based off of Image Comics.
I don't know Image Comics.
I'm not even going to explain that to you.
Well, I'm not allowed to know anything about comics because your mother has forbidden me reading them.
Can
Since
we read your
were married.
comments?
For crying out.
It's
I mean,
before
they're
you
right
were
there.
born.
Oh, Dad, and Image Comics.
All those came before Mama.
Image Comics. Which is basically where things like Spawn and The Boys come from.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Spawn or The Boys. Well, I know a little bit about Spawn. The movie sucked. The live-action movie was one of the worst I've ever seen. Even though they had Martin Sheen in it, who is a great actor.
We're off topic. Okay, let me get back to the point.
All right.
The point, Spawn was bad.
And you never bothered to watch the TV show, which is way better in every single way.
So you say, but I have no incentive to watch it.
We have it straight on the
I watched John Wick.
I have never seen the movie, but I've seen bits and pieces of the show.
Right, but
And
what's
I've
your story?
overheard it from him playing it on his phone.
Okay. What is the story of this guy that you've named what again? Can't break, don't break. What's his?
Can't break.
Can't break.
Uh-huh.
Why is he called Can't Break?
Because he's indestructible.
But why is he called Can't Break instead of some other cool name?
It's basically
Is it
referencing
Surfer,
things like
Chinese Spy.
in things like The Crow and The Boys. They don't exactly have very intimidating names. Most of the time, they just sound weird or creepy.
Okay.
Oh, there's a chicken at her window.
Yeah, that happens.
Such as the well-known character, they're in things like The Crow. Oh, a guy called Top Dollar. Tom. These are various antagonists on The Crow.
Okay, I've never seen the Crow series. I've seen one of them, the first movie where Brandon Lee died. That's probably the only reason I went to see it. He was the main star. He's the son of Bruce Lee,
Yeah,
and he
we
got shot and killed on set.
I'll say saw some pictures of him. He doesn't have many similarities to Bruce Lee. Anyone notice that?
What do you mean? He did have a family resemblance to Bruce Lee.
I meant he was whiter.
Of course, his mother was white. Bruce Lee had married an American woman, and they had a son and a daughter. Brandon was the son. I don't know the name of their daughter, but he started teaching Brandon how to do martial arts when he was about 4 years old. And then Bruce Lee sadly died of what people assume was an aneurysm because they didn't really. I mean, he died in China.
Okay. Yeah, in the head, and it would die later, either because as was likely brain damage.
Well, there's tons of speculation on it, and there always is when a superstar or something dies. And
It's basically the same as the Brandon Lee incident.
no, because with Brandon Lee, Brandon was clearly shot and killed.
The gun was real. An idiot in the crowd forgot to warn, and then there was a dummy round stuck in the gun.
A dummy round wouldn't have killed him.
It actually can. And
No.
and it was rubber. Those things still are
And
pretty
that was
lethal.
at close range. Close range with a rubber bullet, yeah, that could kill you if it hit you in the right spot, and it hit him in the right spot.
Yeah.
And imagine the actor who actually fired the gun and how he feels.
Oh,
He had no
feel
reason to, he didn't want that to happen, and now he's killed somebody, which
Now he's
is
going
just
to jail.
awful. No, he's not. He didn't load the gun.
It was a prop guy.
And there's no way you
Ooh.
can mistake a rubber bullet and a real bullet. You can't mistake that, and they don't get stuck in a revolver.
They actually can. So I'll keep
No.
in mind, and everything in confirms it was all a complete accident.
I don't know.
And despite your thoughts, Dad, you know as well as I do, there's just billions of stupid people in the world. Well, who's to say they haven't done that before? Or Ants Hollywood, plus a billion more accidents happened on the Crow set, which led to things like It's Haunted or something. Stuff like that happens. It was a big budget, a tight schedule,
It
Dad.
was a very big budget movie, and it was a good movie, actually.
And it's a
And
very
it would have
tight
been
schedule.
Brandon Lee's breakout movie. It would have been his, introducing him as a permanent action star, and it would have been great. And
Remaining.
it was a good movie.
Yeah,
but
remaining.
everything else after that, kind of schlock.
I do expect.
I expect if you're going to do something, you keep it to a high standard, especially if you start with a high standard, like they did with The Crow, the initial
The
movie
Crow
with
was originally
Brandon
a
Lee.
water comic, all the colored black and white comic. Dad.
Yeah, but it still had high quality. It was still a high quality product, and you should keep it high quality if you want people to continue being interested in it.
I know we're
you
going with a
keep it
longer
high quality.
time for this video, but can you please just let me tell my stupid story?
You're saying that your story is stupid.
No, that's just what he says. I don't know why.
Okay, go ahead and tell your story. Go ahead. You're the one who went off about Brandon Lee to begin with, and The Crow.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Wait,
I love you.
if I were the boys think fits on this for very impressive violence and questionable humor mixed in.
Questionable humor.
Humor.
Why do you want questionable humor?
So that can be funny when you do it right.
Are you doing it right?
It's a work in progress. Keep in mind, it's still just a rough draft that's fresh in my head. Think about what J.K. Rowling did with Harry Potter. She just wrote down everything she was thinking.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how you do things. You take notes
She didn't
and then you put it together.
write Harry Potter. She wrote Star Wars with sucky lightsabers.
He's right.
Who cares? I feel inclined to point out Harry.
Almost every movie follows that pattern that Star Wars used. Almost every movie. It's so
Even the
cliche.
books followed it.
Well, the books were written after the movies.
Keep in mind that the hero's journey is a very common storytelling method. It's a very useful one too.
Right.
It can even be used to help tell the villain's story as well.
Yes. But we don't need a bunch of villains that are... We don't really care about those backstories to most villains. Except for the Joker. The Joker is the most interesting.
Keep in mind that there's been expansions to the retelling of his story. Right? And the most terrifying thing that you're still in denial about is his wife and son are alive.
No, that's in one probable or potential future
Main
that
DC
they made.
universe.
No, main DC universe, they're not. They're dead. And Joker went insane because of it.
He was misinformed by police.
No. They were dead.
Misinformed by the cops. Ops due
Not
to
according to the
a
Killing
crippling mental state. And keep in mind, Dad, the Killing Joke was mainly just unsolved.
No, it wasn't. The Killing Joke
It was mostly
was
unsolved for
Joker
the most
trying
of the
to drive
characters
Gordon
inside
insane
of the
to show
forget
Batman
it.
that anybody could go insane. It was actually a good comic book. You'd like it.
I saw the movie, Dad.
The movie didn't follow the comic book at all.
It actually had very basic similarities.
Did not follow it at all.
They both end the same way.
With Joker being captured?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, didn't follow it at all. And I really hate when Hollywood does that. They take a good story and they turn it into crap.
You barely watched the movie,
Didn't
you?
the Joker
I
make
watched the
Robin
Joker
Hood
movie.
go insane and become
Robin
And also
Hood?
keep...
Robin?
Who's Robin?
Not
Hood.
Robin Hood.
We don't do
Robin.
British heroes here.
Robin.
He met Robin as the
Robin.
things
I
like,
know, Robin.
like Jason Todd and Tim Drake. Because in some universes, Tim Drake didn't turn into the Joker himself.
Tim Drake? Because in
Yeah,
one of
like
the
in-
ones that they had a potential future of, it was Dick Grayson that turned into the Joker. In one of the ones that I had.
Back to the point. This is the Batman Beyond timeline.
Batman Beyond is different entirely.
And that
as
was
well.
the movie. Actually, it
Well, you
was...
see, that's another reason why I don't like Hollywood going and taking stuff, because they create an entire alternate universe and crap rather than keeping true to the story.
People
and
make
keeping
that all
true
the
to
time.
Characters. It's horrible. Look at what they did with Batman versus Superman. They made Batman a murderer. That's the one line that Batman would never cross. He would never kill people.
There are
And
storylines
look
where
what
he
he
has
did.
done that.
They did to Harry Potter. They left
Yeah.
out several pages.
Well, they left out stuff because there's just stuff that doesn't need to be covered sometimes in order to make the movie.
Some of it was important,
Well, yeah,
and
some of
they
it was.
did change stuff like
Well, that was mainly
Hermione
the
coming.
They also
First
took out
movie.
Charlie
In with-
Weasley. He's only mentioned one movie and
Yeah,
never seen throughout
Yeah.
the whole series.
yeah.
In the book, he was mentioned, and his friends showed up to pick up Hagrid's dragon
Oh, boy.
in the book.
Yeah.
But in the show, in the movies, he showed up once, and that was
Well, yeah,
probably
there
just
are
to-
characters that get more
get
play in the
dragons.
books, obviously,
Nothing
because the
else.
books were written
And
as
keep
the
in mind,
books.
Dad, the Killing
And
Joke
that's
was
another
actually a
problem
very
because the
questionable way to get it on the big screen. People are very
they didn't even follow it.
romantic. People can be very touchy-feely about what they have on the silver screen than what they have on the pages.
Yeah, well, the problem is Hollywood destroys a good story because they want to keep it in a certain timeline because I think nobody will sit and watch this whole thing if we make the whole thing, which Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit both prove that's not true. People will sit through a good movie, no matter how long it is, because it's a good movie. But Hollywood won't do that because they're too interested in making a quick buck rather than telling a good story. And they destroy Batman almost every time. The best Batman to date is the Christian Bale trilogy on Batman. Christian Bale had the best stuff for it.
The
The
Dark
best
Knight.
one, the best one
The
with
Dark Knight.
yeah, but the best one was
I've never watched
the Dark
I
Knight.
need to watch those.
Wasn't?
That was the best one because it had the Joker in it, but they totally destroyed Two-Face in it. They didn't do Two-Face right at all. And then they killed him.
It's Two-Face.
Two-Face doesn't get killed.
He's insane.
Doesn't matter. He goes to Arkham like the rest of them. When Batman catches them, they take him to Arkham. Also, another thing that they did wrong, the only thing they did wrong in the first Batman movie with Christian Bale, my opinion,
Is that-
but it's true.
It's Christian
The thing
Bale.
they did wrong was he didn't save Ra's al Ghul. He would have saved him because he believes in justice and the justice system punishing people who are bad. He would have captured Ra's al Ghul, put him in jail, and let him go through justice, the justice system.
Keep in mind there are two ways to pronounce Ra's al Ghul's name. I mean, Ray
Ra's
Al Ghul, or Raj Al Ghul, or Raz Al Ghul. Oh, I'm losing myself.
Yeah, you've lost it. That's okay. I'm your father.
Uh-huh. Give my Rasha.
I don't know because I've heard it pronounced Ra's al Ghul. I've heard it pronounced Raj al Ghul, and I've heard it pronounced Raj al Ghul.
Am I feeling he's Indian?
You know, he's was Asian. Okay, in the comic book, he was Asian. He wasn't Liam Neeson, a British dude. He was Asian. So
Keep in mind, he still would live a long time,
China,
so his accent changing doesn't seem totally out of context.
No, he did. He was already very old, but he has the Lazarus pits to rejuvenate him.
Yeah, I know.
And the Lazarus pits, when he comes out of the Lazarus pit, he's insane for the first hour or two after he gets out of the Lazarus pit. The Lazarus pit made Joker sane for a few hours.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was crazy. He felt so guilty and wanted to commit suicide because of all the people he killed over the years.
Well, I'm amazed
It
Batman
was
didn't
such
let
a
him.
good. No, Batman needed him because he needed to know Ra's al Ghul's plan so he could stop Ra's al Ghul. It was a great comic book. I used to collect it so much. You guys would have loved some of the older comics. Just leave that alone. And I think there were some things lost depending on who's writing the story of Batman in the comic books.
Keep in mind, Dad, that movies tend to have tight budgets. See you later, Charles.
But the problem is not that they have a tight budget. The problem is they won't budget what's needed for a film unless they're already planning it being a big.
And keep in mind, and Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit was a British creation.
No. Yeah, they were. The author was J.R.R. Tolkien, who was a British professor.
I refer to the fact it was most likely done by the British people who actually cared about the source material.
It was done by him, and Kevin Jackson, who did the movie, was from New Zealand originally.
Where's New Zealand again?
New Zealand is some islands off the coast of Australia. But it's not Kevin Jackson, it's Peter Jackson. Sorry. Peter Jackson came to the States.
Is there a Kevin Jackson?
Probably is. Actually, there is. But I believe he's a conservative commentator, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. But anyway, he cared. That's why those movies were so good. The guy who did it cared about it. And that's a problem with Hollywood, is putting people in who don't care about these characters, or like with the Batman, Superman, Justice League series, you had a guy who was the director who had never read a Batman comic, had never been into comics, and thought people who read comics were stupid. So when you bring that kind of an attitude in, you don't get a good story. It doesn't matter how much he's getting paid.
I feel it's important to point out, the darker gray superheroes are kind of in at the moment.
It's not about
boys,
but
boys are morally questionable. Well, things like
that's not really true. It's in with Hollywood because Hollywood doesn't like good guys. Hollywood doesn't like people who obey the rules or who have a solid moral code.
Well,
like
the sad
Superman.
part, guys like that tend to make more cash on the big screen.
No, they don't. Because there's been
like
several.
John Wick
you have guys
Bond.
like John Wick, but when you go over and try to do that with Batman and Superman, you get a movie that people don't want to go and see, that people don't go and see, and that loses money. Every time Hollywood, Disney included, tries to change the story to leave out the moral character and content of someone, it destroys the story and nobody wants to see it. People want heroes, real heroes, true heroes who stand up for what they believe in, don't move off that mark, and set an example for everyone else. That's why Batman and Superman were so iconic in the comic books, and originally so iconic when they were put on the movie screen.
You're blabbing too much.
Pardon me, sir.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Ugh.
I have been chastised. Now I must go and weep.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Are you going to tell the story?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, at this point, I feel people will just watch this video for all the craziness we were yapping about.
Which they should. They should watch it just for all the craziness we've been yapping about.
Okay, back to the point. The story's basically about this. The world building thing is indeed questionable on my part. But I'm just trying to see what happens. Imagine a world where age doesn't really matter. I mean, you can start work at any time.
Oh, where they don't have laws that prevent kids from working. Because those are more of something that's happened within like the last 30, 40 years. Prior to that, they didn't. Because prior to that, you could be 5 or 6 years old and go and help people carry their groceries home and help bag their groceries, and people would pay you tips.
Uh-huh.
And you'd get money. Knew a gentleman,
Dad,
well, I heard him speak, that did that when he was like 6 years old.
let me please.
Go ahead.
Anyway, if you're curious, I'm thinking of this taking place in like a future setting.
Yeah.
And in 2245. Does that work?
Works for me.
Yeah, anyway.
And actually, in most countries that are not Western countries, kids can still work.
I know.
All right, 2245?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a couple hundred years away.
A little over, but okay.
So what's going on in 2245?
Let's see. A little kid gets out to the military. You're and it's 1 year old. You can vote for who's president.
You can't. 1-year-olds just can't make those decisions.
I thought it was funny.
It's ridiculous.
That's what makes it so
That would be
funny.
the parent voting for them because they can't actually, they wouldn't.
And things like superpowers and prodigies aren't too uncommon either.
Everybody has superpowers except for you. I'm sorry. That was a funny skit. It was on Studio C.
That's just hurtful.
It was hilarious.
Now, Can't Break. I'm still working on a real name for him. He's doing education and working a side job where he's catching delinquents.
Okay. What kind of delinquents?
School violence kind.
People that are skipping school or and causing fights? Exactly what?
Yeah, basically that. Okay. And it's not just us in the school where a bad person would do bad things, but outside as well.
Okay. So he likes to hunt down bad guys.
Yeah. If you're curious, it's a year.
What made him so indestructible?
Okay. But we rewind 45 years ago.
You mean he's 45?
No. Oh, this is before he exists. It's before he's born.
Okay. So you go back 45 years to 2200.
Uh-huh. And suddenly, bam! A guy.
Yeah.
I can accurately translate out of every language on Earth. And bam! Some lady, he can fly.
Okay. Why? What happened to cause this?
No one exactly knows. Oh, it was just us happening. Everyone started getting superpowers. Whereas people were becoming superhuman.
And this happened population-wide?
Yeah.
I can only imagine the chaos.
I figured
And
you're gonna
the
cut that
death
thing
toll.
out, because let's be honest, stuff like that can be quite the nightmarish scenes And let's be honest, the X-Men formula thing is overdone at this point.
Yes.
And
An interesting thought. Have you ever seen the movie by ex super girlfriend? I think that's what it was called.
I really don't want to hear about that.
It was hilarious. I think you'd love it.
Okay, have
My
fun.
super ex girlfriend. That's what it was. You gotta see it. It's hilarious.
I'm not in the mood to be talking about a movie where a guy I had a fair relationship with Supergirl.
She wasn't Supergirl.
I don't care.
Wow. Be mean to your father.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay. How it goes. Drown my sorrows.
So Friday, you want to watch it with me?
Yeah, we can watch it. If we can find it, we can watch it.
Okay, good. But with the driving gone, we had to watch movies somehow. And Friday is always a good time for movies.
Yep.
Anyway, people are just us like having a blast with it sometimes.
Yeah.
And then they're basically working on things. 4 or 5 years later, they got some good systems running around, and some great stuff is going too.
Okay. So he's born being indestructible.
Yeah, he inherited it from his mom.
Oh.
His kid, what his dad's power is he can turn invisible.
Oh, that's cool. How come he didn't inherit that?
And you
Not
see the
everybody
genetic
can be
pool.
invisible.
You see, due to special studies, the genes, your mother's superpower can be easier to inherit than your father's.
Can we help
What's
you?
going on, Charles?
Are you done yet?
No, we're still
No.
going.
Are you about finished?
Oh, well, we should get finished soon.
Yeah.
This is planned to be a longer episode, Dad.
Well, this is already 27 minutes long.
It's planned to be a little longer than that.
Well, then go.
Anyway, they came freaking a bunch of other guys. I was assigned on for a special thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that special thing.
Ing for battle to protect the world. From danger. It's basically your average thing these military will do would invite people in and the younger soul to training younger people to become soldiers someday programs, action, adventure, and serving mankind.
Okay. I like that. Added on. Being a good servant to mankind is always.
Yeah, it's more or less what soldiers basically are the people who protect us from bad things. I'm pretty sure you would know about that with your time in the Navy.
I know how we used to do it. How they do it now, I wouldn't trust anybody. Just my own personal opinion.
Okay, we can discuss the morally questionable sexuality do problems they allow in the military.
Don't cause me more editing.
I'm sorry. Also, you don't actually have to edit, Charles. Rules are okay with the videos. Those how they are. You can just, like I said, you can just add little photos here and there, and maybe an intro. Honestly, I don't know what the intro would do or where to put it, but it would seem interesting to see.
At the beginning. Or maybe a little after the middle.
On the point. One can't bring associates.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the modern day.
Mhm.
After just us put down some delinquents who were causing trouble again.
Mhm.
And said he was wondering if he would get his assistants and get the team back together. Okay, I'm going to try getting the characters for this. I can't break. Great to see you. Yeah. Sorry, what do you want? If you care what Sorty can do, he can basically summon swords out of thin air.
Okay.
That'd be my character out of all of these.
Okay.
And I see you brought your friend. And how's it going? One Blunty? Blunty, he has a similar power, but he uses,
Blunt weapons
yeah,
like hammers and such.
more or less metal baseball bats.
Oh, okay, that works.
So a metal baseball bat kid.
Guy's also a sports
What?
enthusiast. Guy also
Oh.
loves sports games. Not that he's really good at sports, but he's not terrible. But everything he does, he's just kind of lacking here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But his determination always picks up the slack, somewhat. Okay, and back to the characters. I'm guessing over here, your camp rank? Yeah, I know. Oh, Blunty. See, I figured if you two here, you want to get the unit back together. There, more or less. So, Sword, what are you?
I feel like
I know for a fact, it's not exactly okay, but I'm not in the mood to be talking with you right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, failed soldier life and Max over here. Here, I got some problems. The strong girl's been in a coma for the last year.
What? Huh?
Aaron, the
Strong
leader,
girl.
Alpha Lady. It is dead.
Who?
These are all characters that he's working on.
Say that name again. I couldn't
Alpha
hear.
Lady, would you be quiet?
Alpha Lady.
She's the leader.
That works for me. There are
Or chickens. Or
As long as they don't try to come in.
they're gonna try to come in.
Anyway,
They used to be in here all the time.
and break. It really doesn't want to be talking with Swordy and Blunty. They do a fair share of deadly incidents. Things that happen while in the special forces.
Mm.
And keep in mind, they're like little kids. It's but in this world, you can be treated as an adult when you're like 4.
Which is weird.
Oh, I wish I could be living.
That would mean you'd have to be responsible for yourself.
That's something parents all over the world feel deep inside their children when they're a month old.
Come
You have to
in
do it for a
here.
long time. You don't just learn that in a month.
I said when they're a month old.
Yeah, they can't even speak at a month old.
Money is a
That is
very
what makes it so
important
impressive.
thing.
The first word is
Money
Besides,
is an
you don't
important
automatically leave your
thing.
parents' house and you're a little kid. You still live with your family members and such. As it's very common there, well, for families to stay together.
Oh, that's good.
Either to keep in regular contact and other things like that.
That is very good.
As can't break, for one, I'm spending a lot of time away from home, I'm in the military, and doesn't want to be leaving anytime soon. Especially since his childhood bestie, strong girl, who got in a coma.
the way you said bestie made me. That.
Okay, it can't break. You really need your help of getting the team back together. Yeah, because they're not going to listen to you. You caused what happened. But on mission 702.
Yeah, I know.
Charles, you're not. Please don't.
Adding up the voice.
You don't even know the character.
Yeah, can't say something.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just don't. do anything, please.
Continue, Benjamin.
Yes, please. Okay, let me get this clear. I'm not helping at this moment. But you know what happened. You know we're not allowed to come back, especially with the death of our leader. So unless you've magically found us a new alpha to follow, though, you're not getting my help. I admit I can't magically make a new leader appear out of thin air. But I will gladly do what I can. And because you know as well as I do, these aliens are not going to give up. Well, until they get here, you're always able to slow them down. And I have something to surprise. Stop. I'm going to stop you there. Because, quite frankly, I'm not in the mood to be listening to you. So unless you got a magical way of grabbing my attention. Then back with a stack of cash. Okay, it actually did grab my attention. And then hand me the cash. Okay. You see, I need you. Okay, let me phrase that real quick. Okay, I need you, me, Blunty, and the calculator. You're nobody.
What?
And a fat boy. And hammer hair.
Hammer here.
Yeah. He uses hair like a hammer. He just shapes it up into a pumpkin and
Alright, that's weird.
Okay. Nobody does. He's basically the copycat.
Mm.
Yeah, he can copy one's movements, one's attacks, although they're limited to his own physical abilities. And he can't copy special powers.
Why are you making a sword out of thin air?
He always like to make stuff kind of appear out of thin air. Here, Calculator is the brains of the group.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who's capable of thinking on par with AI.
Cool. Most people can do that.
Fat Boy can basically cause an explosion to stuff he touches.
Cool.
As curious, here's what Strong Girl does. Her name's basically she's basically super strong.
Okay, we should end the video now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.